Thank you very much. So the bad news is I don't speak French. The good news is I think I have a fairly interesting story to tell you about here, but you're going to have to listen to it in English. So my name is Chip McCullough. I am the CTO, I'm with Accenture, I'm the CTO of our relationship with HPE. And I'm from Florida in the United States. And first of all, on behalf of Accenture, I wanted to thank you all for coming here to our kind of home at Discover. And this is a great crowd. It's the biggest crowd I've presented in front of so far today. So this is my fourth presentation today, so this is really great. I want to tell you a bit of a story, but I want to start with kind of getting agreement here by the crowd, by the crowd that I think we can all agree that what our customers, whether it be real customers, whether it be our business customers, whoever it may be that you're supporting, want to buy the cloud experience. And I think it really goes back to their familiarity with the public cloud and the public cloud experience. And this has taken us Accenture, on a fairly interesting journey, which has started with us launching a campaign that we called Cloud First. And this campaign launched several years ago. And I think at the front end of that campaign, it was a very public cloud-centric campaign. But I think the reality of it, as we've embarked on that kind of cloud-first journey, is the reality of it is that where we really need to be and where we are living today is in kind of a hybrid cloud experience, right? In a hybrid cloud environment. And the real challenge that we have from the standpoint of the private cloud side of things is being able to deliver that public cloud experience with a private cloud solution. And recently, I don't even know if you can say recently anymore, but about a year ago, a little longer than a year ago, we really started to focus on our private cloud solution as the second part of our cloud first journey, and how we could create a combination of public cloud and private cloud working together and deliver that full hybrid cloud experience. And what I'm excited to say, and this really, I actually presented with Neil earlier today, and your presentation is as good in French as it is in English, I'll have to say. What it really led us to was when we started to investigate the platform that we wanted our private cloud to be on, Synergy was just kind of coming to reality, in this whole idea of composability and composable infrastructure, and that we started to get introduced to it. And it was very interesting to us because the way that we were setting up our private cloud and some of the key components that we wanted to have of our private cloud, which had very, very significant, substantial automation as a part of it, the whole idea of composable and the composable architecture that Synergy brings seemed to be a really good fit. So we participated in the Synergy beta program, and I think I have slides. Yes, I do. So I'm not going to go through all my slides. I'd rather just kind of talk to you kind of one-on-one here a little bit. But we participated in the Synergy beta program, and we really, I think, explored Synergy probably at a level of depth that was much greater than what other participants in the Synergy beta program were doing, because we ended up winning kind of the partner award from HPE as, you know, the top Synergy beta partner. And what we did, and I think why we kind of won it, is while many others were trying to understand the key, you know, architectural components of Synergy, we really kind of dove into the API level and what you can do in taking automation and interfacing that with the composable layer, and in particular OneView, and start to manipulate Synergy with an automation structure that allowed us to basically create this really unique experience and bring out what I think is the true vision of composability. And as we progress this over time, what we've developed is a really unique private cloud solution based on Synergy. And I can say that, you know, something that Accenture doesn't do very often is standardize on a particular technology set. And this is one instance as we embarked in private cloud where we said, we need to be standardizing. We need to have a standard solution that we can deliver to customers. And it very quickly led us to Synergy as being that standard compute layer, at least, solution. And I'm going to tell you about a couple of the key components that are part of our private cloud. And I'm going to turn it over to my counterpart, Eric Brown, who is going to talk a little bit about further delivering the public cloud experience by talking in a lot more detail about our automation and how that delivers this experience, as well as what we're doing with flexible capacity. If any of you are familiar with flexible capacity, that is a key component of what we're doing and how that delivers kind of the financial and consumption model experience as a part of our private cloud. Okay? So our private cloud solution has several key building blocks to it. There's a set of cloud startup services that provide the ability for you to take your existing infrastructure and through a set of deployment and migration routines, be able to basically get it into our private cloud platform based on Synergy. It also has what we call our cloud management platform, or our cloud broker, which gives you a hybrid view of your applications as they sit across both the public cloud environment and the private cloud environment. You know, this gives you a really this gives you the hybrid view of your applications and how they sit across it. Another key component is our operations framework. So we have, as a part of our private cloud, we are able to operate that private cloud, and we've been doing a very extensive, I'll say, cost takeout effort to be able to make the private cloud fully operated at a very, very strong price point. And we've been doing a lot of competitive comparisons against with our private cloud against other solutions, and know that we're in a very strong price point from a price positioning standpoint. So we think we can deliver, we believe we can deliver a private cloud solution for you, or a hybrid cloud solution, at a very favorable price and cost point. Those operations, there's two components, or two major offerings that are part of the private cloud. There's first our managed private cloud, which we can deliver on-premise in your data centers, right? In colo centers that you own, whatever that may be, and fully implemented with HPE hardware, with our tool set that you'll see a little bit more about, with our operations services managed, and we kind of take all the pain of delivering the private cloud off your plate so you can focus on bigger and better things. The second part of it, we have a hosted version of our private cloud, which is set up in a series of Accenture data centers. Again, same basic architecture, same Synergy platform that we're working off of. We have data centers right now that are based in London and here in Spain that we deliver in Europe. We also have data centers in the US that we're delivering for our North American customers. And we'll be expanding those locations in the near future. And again, it's that same architecture, but it allows you, if you want to take certain application workloads off-premise, but not move into the public cloud, you can do that through our hosted solution. Some of the underlying technologies that I want to make you aware of is our private cloud is very VMware centric right now. We have a roadmap to OpenStack in the future, and we have also been doing a lot of work recently with Azure Stack, that eventually could roll into our offering. But right now, our offering is really VMware centric. However, we are able, to the way we structured it, host physical, if you have physical applications that require physical implementations, we are able to do that in the way we structured the offering, but we try to move as much of the workload as possible into our VMware virtualized environment. The final piece I'll talk about is we have a global network structured that allows us to interconnect our data centers, your data centers, and the public cloud in a very high bandwidth kind of network connection. And that's in place also as a part of the solution. At the end point, and before I transition it over to Eric here, I think he's here.
I'm there. Just
have Eric right here too.
Another one. Okay.
Another one.
Yeah, there's another Eric over here. So before I transition to Eric, our private cloud solution, there's a whole set of automation tools and a very interesting technology that Eric is going to talk to you about, as well as the flex capacity piece. So I'll transition over to Eric. You want to talk about the automation a bit?
Sure.
And then we can take any questions.
Can you guys hear me okay? All right, well, I'm going to somewhat speed up the conversation here and really make this part of the presentation fairly, I'll call it, quick. Like Chip mentioned, one of our objectives with the automation was really to radically simplify IT and ultimately deliver the application and the infrastructure in a, I'll call it, certified build process that is automated all the way from the infrastructure, all the way out to the OS, and to the deployment of the actual application. Because at the end of the day, right, the value for our clients come from the business apps that they're actually running. So our automation routines are standardized. They use what we call a data-defined infrastructure, where we capture information around the application and then all of its requirements, and we deploy that in an automated fashion time and time again. For clients in the audience that operate in aerospace or in defense or with governments that have high levels of certification, right, the automation capabilities allow us to meet very stringent security requirements, allow the government agencies to then audit what we've deployed and certify what we've done. It allows us to deploy this in their environments in parallel with the certification process. So in a nutshell, what we've done, we've essentially taken the application to deployment and essentially made it where it's essentially a one-click type deployment, therefore taking a lot of the complexity out of the system. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over. I know we're short on time. I'm going to hand it over to, back to you. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks. Bien. Merci, messieurs d'Accenture. Vous voyez qu'on a évité quelques slides quand même. C'est bien. Bon voilà. Là, on retourne en français jusqu'à la fin.